what a ending to Clash of Champions Gold Rush review. Tribal Chief Roman Reigns asserting her dominance against his cousin Jeyuso. The Legends getting revenge on Randy Orton. Unfortunately, Garza was hurt. Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax were gone, and we couldn't get actual scheduled title matches. But overall, this pay-per-view is solid. The last two matches, completely awesome matches. Loved them. The first match I loved. The matches in between, not so much. But we're gonna go through this from start to finish with a solid pay-per-view, especially the last two matches. I just loved them. So, as you know, if you don't know, a couple matches had to be changed, and one was taken off. Nikki Cross originally was supposed to face Bayley for SmackDown Women's title, but Nikki Cross wasn't at SmackDown, was not able to compete tonight. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax were not able to defend their tag team titles against Riot Squad, Liv Morgan, and Ruby Riott. So they had to mix and change the card tonight. And Asuka versus Zelina Vega was supposed to be on the pre-show, but they switched it to Nakamura and Cesaro defending their SmackDown tag team titles against Lucha House Party, Kalisto, and the Great Malik. Right? They got switched onto the pre-show. That was a solid pre-show match. Everybody knew Nakamura and Cesaro were gonna win. You didn't see any head dysfunction. There was no dysfunction between the Lucha House Party, but it's the way how it ended. The ending of this match, Shinsuke Nakamura took out, I think it was Lance Dorado. He did his exploder, what's it called? Exploderplex, Lance Dorado by the barricade, and he exploder suplexed him over the barricade, officially kind of eliminating from the match. He was unconscious, and so that's what led to basically a 2-on-1 between Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Cesaro had Kalisto in the swing. What's it called? Whatever. I forget what it's called. You know the move when he picks up his legs and he swings them around. And about the third time he went around, Shinsuke hit him with the knee because Cesaro tagged him. But I think it was a Kinashra, his finishing move, but it didn't look like it because how close it was, and whatever. And they pinned him. Shinsuke pinned him, got the win. 1, 2, 3. They still retain the tag team belts. Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro still tag team champions on SmackDown. Where do we go from next? We don't know. And this stuff we're going to talk about a little bit later on has been announced. And finally, let me shake up a few things. So, there'll be new tag teams, maybe some other tag teams in SmackDown. Who knows in the future? Challenges for these titles. Alright. This next match was the perfect match to actually open up the pay-per-view. It's the same match we had on SmackDown, except this is a ladder match. Remember, SmackDown became a triple threat match between Samizayn, AJ Styles, and Jeff Hardy. But this is a triple threat match, undisputed, to become the undisputed Intercontinental Champion, IC Champion, on a ladder between these three. Remember, they're all claiming they're the real IC Champion, where Jeff Hardy is officially the IC Champion. AJ Styles said Jeff Hardy cheated, and Samizayn he never lost, and he's saying he's the official IC Champion. And tonight, 2 titles are on the hooks, and you got to pull them both down to become the official Intercontinental Champion and sell this once and for all. This match had everything. It was an opening match. You know, like these kind of matches are there to get the crowd into it. Obviously, the crowd, you can't hear the crowd noise from people watching at home, so they pipe in the noise. It's quite obvious. Which is the way they could do that, where they actually have noise from people, but they're afraid that people are going to say stupid stuff, you know. I can understand that, but it'd be awesome. Jeff Hardy did a swanton bomb to Samizayn. When Samizayn was laying on the ladder, there was a part was placed on the ring side in the, I think, the table, announce table. Jeff Hardy set up a ladder and did a swanton bomb with the Samizayn. I thought that took him out for sure. There's AJ Styles. Both Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles were out. This is how the match. I'm gonna get to how the match ended. Samizayn in the bag. He brought it back down to the ring. 2 handcuffs. 2 handcuffs. This is smart, genius, creative way of how he won his match. So Jeff Hardy was out. AJ Styles was out. He goes to Jeff Hardy first. He was by the ring entrance. Out. You know, remember a couple of years ago when Randy Orton put a screwdriver through Jeff Hardy's ear and Hell in a Cell? Was it Hell in a Cell? Yeah, Hell in a Cell. It's kind of similar to this, but this is more creative. He took the handcuff and put it through Jeff Hardy's ear, and the other part of the handcuff onto a ladder. So where Jeff Hardy's ear was handcuffed to a ladder. Genius. Wants to do the same thing to AJ Styles. But AJ Styles, he gets a handcuff on AJ Styles, but he doesn't manage to get the other half of the handcuff onto him. AJ Styles manages to fight him off. They go up the ladder. Jeff Hardy is struggling to get back in. Samizayn manages to get the handcuffs onto AJ Styles to handcuff AJ Styles to the ladder. And Samizayn pulls down the titles, become your undisputed Intercontinental Champion. Where you see Jeff Hardy managing in the ring, but his ladder was like the ladder he was handcuffed to was up close to his ear, and he was struggling. Of course, it's hard. Of course, it'd be hard to move when you have a ladder, when you're handcuffed to a ladder through your ear. That's very hard. So there we have it. Samizayn, Intercontinental Champion, officially undisputed Intercontinental Champion. I thought he was going to lose. I thought Jeff Hardy was going to win, but here we go. Samizayn's champion. An overall very great opening match to start the show. Now this will be a little bit shorter one, a shorter description. We have early in the show we had R-Truth with in a costume with a right beard, looks like a wizard. You know how a wizard would like a wizard. He looked like kind of Dumbledore, Gandalf, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, kind of like that. He had a bull with the gold belt, with the 24/7 title. He thought it was Gold Rush meant something else. So we get to later on after the ladder match. R-Truth was backstage talking to the referee, and you see Drew Gulak in the background. All of a sudden, Drew Gulak pins R-Truth with the schoolboy pin. He gets a 1-2-3 count, becoming the new 24/7 champion. Which obviously later in the night, it didn't last long. The Raw Women's title match that was originally supposed to be the kickoff show, but due to what I said earlier in this video, because of Nikki Cross and the tag in Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax Riot Squad match, this was bumped to the main card of Clash of Champions. Sorry there. So it was Zelina Vega taking on Asuka. There's some great transitions in this match. Zelina Vega is a solid wrestler when she gives him the chance. She doesn't wrestle much. She's usually mad because she's a good talker. But even though she's small, she's a solid performer. There's that move where she performed when Asuka, you know when Asuka winds to the ropes and she turns around and hit you with her ass. Zelina was out at the time, was out of the ropes. And Asuka was going for that. She missed. And Zelina put in a submission on Asuka behind the ropes. There was most of the match, Asuka was trying to get her finish to move on Zelina Vega, and then near the end of the match, a couple of transitions, Asuka managed to get her in the finish to move, and Zelina quickly tapped out like this on her head. And yeah, Asuka retains as expected. She was on the mic. She was getting interviewed on the mic. Zelina stayed in the ring. Asuka was talking in Japanese, and it's like no one's ready for Asuka. Like Zelina did great, but no one's ready for Asuka. Even though she wanted to show respect to Zelina by offering her hand, and he knows Zelina. There's one person you don't want to offer your hand to, And Zelina just kicked Asuka, tried to attack Asuka, but Asuka managed to fight her off. And Zelina escaped. And it looks like this feud is not done between the two. It looks like Asuka and Zelina are going to continue. And we all know what happens to Asuka later on to the night. So Asuka wins, retains. So we have a rematch of the United States title. Remember last pay-per-view, Bobby Lashley defeated Apollo Crews to become United States champion. This time it's a rematch. Apollo Crews is accompanied by Ricochet, and Bobby Lashley is accompanied by MVP. No Shelton Benjamin, and no Cedric Alexander. This match, even though I felt it was kind of short, maybe a little bit 5 to 10 minutes, maybe between that time. Apollo Crews has really impressed me. He's a great worker. He's not only strong, but he's highly athletic. Couple shooting star, standing shooting star, or a backflip or whatever. But Bobby Lashley with his power. Apollo Crews ran. Bobby Lashley does that move. He goes like this, slams him, gets him in the full Nelson. Apollo Crews taps out, taps his head. Done. Bobby Lashley retains the United States title. I actually thought this match would go to a new contest because I thought Retribution would get involved with their dealings with Hurt Business, but I guess not. Retribution wasn't on the show, period. And so, yeah, Bobby Lashley retains, and I don't know where they're going here next with Bobby Lashley. I'm tired of the rematches with Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews hasn't wrestled anybody else out of the Hurt Business besides Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and then Cedric Alexander and MVP. That's it. They need to change this a bit. It's always been the same guys. And that's been the whole thing on Raw. It's always been the same people fighting each other for months and months, wrestling each other for months and months. And it doesn't stop on this pay-per-view. And even the next match was like that. So, Bobby Lashley retains the United States Championship. We got another match, same match as we've seen multiple times over the summer. Now into fall. Street Profits taking on Garza and Andrade. No Zelina Vega. Remember, Zelina Vega stepped away from them, was pissed off at them. Managed to do good for them. Solid match. You know, I really like Montez Ford. I think his splash goes like straight in terms of this. Kind of like RVD splash, but I think it's more flat than RVD was. But he didn't do it in this match. But this match unfortunately had a weird ending, but I'll get to that. Garza did the Spanish Fly. I thought it was a very awkward Spanish Fly. And some speculation that's where he got hurt. But there's also a move where he did a knee that also he got hurt. And that's why the match probably ended the way it is. Everybody saw it. It's like, what the hell was that ending? Because remember, Dawkins, was it Dawkins? Dawkins and Andrade in that pin. 1, 2, he kicks out, but the ref still counts as a 3. And I don't think Andrade knew, I don't think Dawkins knew that Garza was hurt, because during that match, after Spanish Fly and whatever, Garza didn't seem okay, because he took his time to tag in Andrade. And maybe that's because of the injury he suffered, because it's been confirmed he suffered an injury in that match. So that's why that weird ending happened, even though Andrade kicked out. But they didn't know. They didn't know Andrade Garza got hurt. You could tell, and they had to end it there with Street Profits retaining. And I don't know the seriousness of Garza's injury, but it's a legit injury. We don't know the seriousness. If it's a long time, Andrade might have to go singles. If it's not, you can put him off, have Andrade do singles still. But I don't know what they can do. We'll talk about the next thing. So, Street Profits retain. Next we got something that we've been wanting and what WWE really needs. But I'll say something. There's been a lot of movement in this past half year. I'll tell you that. But we got confirmation that there's going to be a draft on SmackDown October 9th and a continuation of on Raw October 12th. And this is draft. Remember last year when SmackDown moved to Fox, they kind of had a draft, right? They used what Raw accepted as who they wanted, and then Fox accepted as who they wanted. Pfft, come on. We all know the stage, they didn't know. Those are not real executives. So we're having a draft then. But I have to say, they kind of need this because we need fresh matchups. But there's been a lot of movement lately, remember? Like Ziggler, Lee went to Raw. Mandy Rose went to Raw. SmackDown, they had AJ Styles. I guess more people went to Raw than SmackDown, but they kind of needed this draft, a refresh for WWE, and I'm happy for it. We'll see who moves and who moves not. We got 2 weeks. I'm very interested. Start speculating who gets moved, people. Do a mock draft, maybe. I might do one. So, okay, we got the SmackDown Women's title match. We have Bayley coming out in her attire, the steel chair, as she has been carrying for the past weeks. Right, remember, she started with Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, Sasha Banks again at the PC. Last week, this Friday when she sat down in the ground position, talking to the crowd, cutting a promo. And we all know she's supposed to face Nikki Cross, right? But unfortunately it didn't happen to Nikki Cross didn't get medical clearance. We all know why. It's obvious. So she sits in the ring, she's like, winning her next challenger, she's like, oh, I'll challenge anyone. Like a second later, nobody shows up, nothing happens. She's like, okay ref, declare me the winner, and all of a sudden you have Asuka's music hit. And I was surprised, I didn't think it'd be Asuka, because it just didn't, nobody thought that because she's on Raw. I thought it'd be Alexa Bliss. Because I was talking smack, she talked shit about Alexa Bliss and how dealing with the trance and the Fiend stuff. And Alexa Bliss is partners with Nikki Cross. And now what I thought would happen in this match, the Fiend, somebody the Fiend would get involved, and Alexa Bliss would get that look again on Friday and go crazy, get herself disqualified or something, get counted out. And the same ending here would have happened in that match. Alexa Bliss would walk up the rampway or something in that crazy sadistic look, like she had on SmackDown, and then Sasha Banks, if you know, Sasha Banks hits Bayley behind. Bayley would be in the ring, but Sasha Banks would come up and hit Bayley behind the steel chair. But that didn't happen, and I thought with Nikki Cross, the outcome of Asuka would have been the same. Bayley got DQ'd here, so Asuka wins, but she doesn't get the title, obviously. Bayley got DQ'd here. I thought with Nikki Cross would have been the same thing. She hit Asuka with the steel chair. She would have hit Nikki Cross with the steel chair, get herself DQ'd after like a 2-minute match. And the same thing happened to Sasha Banks. Bayley was outside. Sasha Banks hits Bayley in the back with the steel chair, starting to get the upper hand, and Bayley gets the upper hand again. They go in the ring. Sasha Banks still selling a neck injury, and then Bayley was planning to do the same thing with the chair around her neck, you know, and she did a beatdown, epic beatdown. But Sasha Banks managed to fight her off. There was a candlestick, and all of a sudden the candlestick is becoming very, very much more common in WWE. Started to beat up Bayley. Bayley managed to escape, and Sasha Banks is all pissed while holding her neck, still selling that injury. It looks like we're going to get something in Hell in a Cell. I think it's premature, but okay. So yeah, Asuka wins here, but Bayley retains. So, okay, we got the SmackDown Women's title match. We have Bayley coming out in her attire, the steel chair, as she has been carrying for the past weeks. Right, remember, she started with Sasha Banks, Nikki Cross, Sasha Banks again at the PC. Last week, this Friday when she sat down in the ground position, talking to the crowd, cutting a promo. And we all know she's supposed to face Nikki Cross, right? But unfortunately it didn't happen to Nikki Cross didn't get medical clearance. We all know why. It's obvious. So she sits in the ring, she's like, winning her next challenger, she's like, oh, I'll challenge anyone. Like a second later, nobody shows up, nothing happens. She's like, okay ref, declare me the winner, and all of a sudden you have Asuka's music hit. And I was surprised. I didn't think it'd be Asuka because it just didn't. Nobody thought that because she's on Raw. I thought it'd be Alexa Bliss because I was talking smack. She talked shit about Alexa Bliss and how dealing with the trans and the Fiend stuff. And Alexa Bliss is partners with Nikki Cross. And now what I thought would happen in this match, the Fiend, somebody the Fiend would get involved, and Alexa Bliss would get that look again on Friday and go crazy, get herself disqualified or something, get counted out, and the same ending here would have happened in that match. Alexa Bliss would walk up the rampway or something in that crazy sadistic look, like you see on SmackDown, and then Sasha Banks, if you know, Sasha Banks hits Bayley behind. Bayley would be in the ring, but Sasha Banks would come up and hit Bayley behind the steel chair. But that didn't happen. And I thought with Nikki Cross, the outcome of Asuka would have been the same. Bayley got DQ'd here, so Asuka wins, but she doesn't get the title, obviously. Bayley got DQ'd here. I thought with Nikki Cross would have been the same thing. She hit Asuka with the steel chair. She would have hit Nikki Cross with the steel chair, get herself DQ'd after like a 2-minute match. And the same thing happened to Sasha Banks. Bayley was outside. Sasha Banks hits Bayley in the back with the steel chair, trying to get the upper hand, and Bayley gets the upper hand again. They go in the ring. Sasha Banks still selling a neck injury, and then Bayley was planning to do the same thing with the chair around her neck, you know, and she did a beatdown, epic beatdown. But Sasha Banks managed to fight her off. There was a candlestick, and all of a sudden the candlestick is becoming very, very much more common in WWE. Started to beat up Bayley. Bayley managed to escape, and Sasha Banks is all pissed while holding her neck, still selling that injury. It looks like we're going to get something in Hell in a Cell. I think it's premature, but okay. So yeah, Asuka wins here, but Bayley retains. Now we got the main event. The Tribal Chief Roman Reigns defending his Universal title against his cousin Jeyuso. And this match is about who's the alpha dog of the Samoan dynasty family. Obviously, let's be honest, The Rock is really the alpha dog. And now, but never mind. The Rock is not wrestling, obviously. But in this case, Roman Reigns is the alpha dog because The Rock is the second most successful of them. Of the family, but as a heel, this match is great. So his attire changed, music still. He has no shirt on. He is teasing that he's decided not to wear a vest or a shirt now. And he's teasing that he's getting a new theme song, but that's in the works. So he still has that theme song, the Shield's theme song. So the match starts. I'll tell you what. Roman Reigns is starting his dominance, but Jey Uso got some great, like some kicks, a Samoan drop. He's got his finishing move splash. Jey Uso, I'll give him credit. His main event, he was showing a lot of fight. The underdog was showing a lot of fight. Reminds me of Daniel Bryan back in 2013, 2014 when he was the underdog against his authority. Oh, that's fucking great. That's what reminded me here. He made a believer in me that he could be in a singles match. Jey Uso could be a singles competitor. Maybe they'll go down that road. So this match, but most of this match, Roman Reigns is talking like, "I'm Tribal Chief, man. Just stay down, just stay down." And Jey Uso obviously not giving up as a face. You don't give up. He was not staying down. There's one point where there was like one point where Paul Heyman's like, "Oh, you gotta stop. This is crazy." Roman Reigns is looking at the referee, telling him, "This is my yard. Don't tell me what to do." And there's outside. Remember, they were outside. The ref was counting the count. Roman Reigns goes back into the ring, and Paul Heyman's like, "Yes." He goes back in the ring. There's a 1 count again, and Roman Reigns looks at the referee and is like, "I do what I want to do." And as the match went on, beating up his cousin, the referee's like, "Yeah, man, that's enough, man. He's had enough, man. He's down." And Roman Reigns takes a look at the referee and is like, "Don't tell me to do what I do. You work here. Don't tell me. I'm the boss. I'm in charge." He's actually like a tribal chief, an alpha dog of the family, like a wolf. There's a leader of the pack. You know, wolves have a leader of the pack. A lion, there's a king of the jungle. The lion has a leader. You know what animals are like. They always have a leader. an alpha dog. And that's why Roman Reigns is here. And as the match was going on, he was asserting his dominance, and he didn't want to pin him. It was not about pinning him, because he knew when he would win. If you pinned him, he knew. It was about Jey Uso accepting Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, as the leader of the family. But Jey Uso was not having none of it, and he was pelting Jey Uso until Jey Uso, still hurt, comes out with the towel. Remember Owen Hart had the towel with Bret Hart. Bret Hart was in that submission move by Bob Backlund in Survivor Series. But that's a total different story. Owen Hart was a jealous brother of Bret Hart. In this case, Jimmy Uso was with the right towel. He was doing this out of love. He's like, come on, Roman, stop. And then Roman Reigns gets back on pounding his cousin Jey Uso again. Jimmy Uso goes in the ring, throws in the right towel. No, it doesn't go in the ring, but he throws in the right towel. Ref calls it off. Roman Reigns retains. And then Jimmy Uso goes checks on his brother, looks up at Roman Reigns. He says, yeah, you're the tribal chief, man. He accepts him as the tribal chief, but we're family, man. You're a tribal chief. And this is where you can see Roman Reigns not going to madness, but becoming a jackass, a jerk. And then he's the leader of the pack. He's like, that nothing, no one could overcome him. That no one could take his role from him as a leader of the pack. As a top dog, top wolf, whatever you want to say. He's a top dog, right? And that's how the show ended. Roman Reigns asserting his dominance against his own family, showing who's a true dog, the true alpha male of the Samoan dynasty. So I think the show was solid. If I give it a rating, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I thought the opening match was very good, but I thought the middle matches were okay. And then the two last matches, I fucking loved them both. Oh, we're gonna have Hell in a Cell next month, October 25. And I don't know if it's gonna be in the Thunderdome. I hope it does, because I can see it be extended. So tell me, like, comment, subscribe down below. Thank you.